So here we are at the Korean War Memorial, or memorial to the U.S. and Allied troops that fought the communists in the Korean War, 1950 to 1953. This was a war that was started by the North Korean communists when they invaded South Korea, 1950. It was a UN authorized mission to save South Korea. And of course, the war did not end until 1953. There were U.S. troops, Canadian, Australian, from New Zealand, from the UK, but they were under the command of General Douglas MacArthur, who was the commander of all UN forces. Unfortunately, because of the restrictions and because of the worries about China that also invaded North Korea, and the Soviets supporting China. Soviets already had nuclear bombs, and they had a friendship treaty and a treaty of mutual help. And the worries that by Truman that if the U.S. were to pursue the Chinese into Chinese territory, the planes coming into Korea, or to actually bomb the airfield in Manchuria where the Chinese planes were taking off from in order to attack UN positions in Korea. Because all of those requests by MacArthur were denied, eventually MacArthur lost patience with Truman. He tried to negotiate directly with the Chinese. He was dismissed, and the war went on for another 3 long years before a truce was finally declared in 1953. And with the status quo ante of the North Koreans above the 38th parallel and the South Koreans below the 38th parallel. And the war cost more than 50,000 U.S. lives, more than 500,000 lives of UN soldiers, that's including South Korean, of course, and 8,177 U.S. soldiers still missing, UN 470,000 missing, of course that includes South Koreans, captured 7,100 U.S., UN 9,200, and wounded U.S. The U.S. wounded were 10,000, and UN wounded were 1,064,000. So, sorry, U.S. wounded were 103,000, and UN wounded were 1,064,000. And unfortunately, still to this day, we have Kim Jong-un, a lunatic North Korean dictator, supported and propped up by China, and South Korea with U.S. troops. So maybe Truman should not have fired MacArthur. Maybe I should have allowed him to engage the Chinese, take the war to the Chinese in a limited way.